Come on here, sir. Who is my friend here? Oh, here he is. And the other? What shall we talk about?
So, shall we talk about peer pressure?
Beg pardon?
Shall we talk about peer pressure?
Talk about?
Fear.
Pressure. Peer pressure. Peer pressure. Pressure by the outside, from outside. Everybody.
Pleasure.
Pressure.
Pressure.
Pressure. You want to talk about pressure, do you?
Peer pressure.
Huh?
Peer pressure. Peer pressure.
Peer.
The pressure of fear.
What?
Fear and pressure.
Oh, you want to discuss, talk over together, fear and pressure, is that it?
Peer pressure.
What?
Peer pressure.
Peer pressure.
There is no peer pressure.
Pleasure.
Peer pressure. Peer means you're from your friends.
What?
Peer means people
Oh, peer.
around
Peer.
you.
Oh.
The pressure that they're giving.
Peer group. Pressure of the peer group.
What are peer groups?
A same age group.
Intimate.
Same
Your
age.
friends.
I don't understand the
Peer
language
group.
you're using.
For example, when your classmates do something, you want to do the same thing. You don't want to be left out. You don't want to be isolated. That's meant by peer.
Ah. Thank you for explaining. First, you heard several times now, we have talked about fear. Right? Are you afraid at the end of these 2 or 3 discussions that we have had here? Are you afraid of your teachers, of your parents, of your friends, or the group around you who do something and you don't do it, the same thing, and therefore you are frightened not to be part of them? There are these kind of fears, right? Since we have talked about it, are you free from these fears?
No, sir.
Huh? He says, no, sir. Why?
So, you said that you tell us how to. You said that there's a sequence you told us about last time. That memory and all that.
Yeah.
So when you think about the past and about the future, you said you tell us how to not. You should forget about the past and the future, not to think about the future. You tell us how to do it.
He wants to know that fear is caused by thinking about the past happening incident which might have hurt you, and that hurt might be repeated in the future. Therefore, the past, thinking about the past and thinking about the future bring fear, right? And he wants to know how not to think about the past, not to think about the future.
Yes.
He wants to know how. He wants to know what is the method. Huh? Right?
Yes, sir.
What is the system?
Yes, sir.
What is the rule which you follow and you will get rid of fear?
Yes.
Yes? You're quite sure?
Yes. Is there any way?
Huh?
The way to get it.
The way to it.
The way to get rid of it.
The way to get rid of it. You know, there are several ways to get rid of fear. Suppress it, right? Control it. Run away from it.
But if you run away from it, again you will have the fear.
Therefore, what will you do? If you just listen to the question first. If you suppress it, it'll come back. If you run away from it, it'll come back. If you kind of say, I won't think about it, it is there. So what will you do? Just think about it carefully.
Go with it.
Right. You only think of the present when the teacher is scolding you, right? And when the teacher is scolding you, at that moment you are frightened, right?
Yes.
Right? So how will you stop the teacher from scolding you?
By behaving in a way.
What she said was, if you're interested in doing something, then you are not concerned about the present or the future, then she said there's no fear. That's what she said.
I beg your pardon. She said that if you are interested in what you are doing, whether it's pottery, mathematics, playing cricket, or some other subject, when you are really interested in what you are doing, then there is no fear, right? Now, one of our questions was, teacher scolds you. At that moment you are frightened. What will you do? How will you stop this teacher from scolding you?
By understanding the teacher.
No, look carefully. You're doing something wrong, not completely correct. He has repeated once, he probably is repeated again, and he gets irritated with you. And then he gets scolds you. Right? That is, you don't do something correctly, properly. He tells you first nicely, second time perhaps more nicely, but third time or fourth time he gets irritated. Then he scolds you. Right? So what will you do? To prevent from being scolded, which is wrong.
Sir, behaving in a way by which he will not have a chance to scold you.
Yes. So what will you do?
So we should think what he feels is right and what we feel is right, sir.
No, you are not doing something which you are both agreed is right. And you are not paying attention to it. You are rather slack, you are rather sloppy. And he tells you, and he begins to scold you. How will you correct yourself and the teacher?
Sir, while the teacher is scolding you, you must watch the process, like as he's scolding you.
Yes, I am scolding you. I hope not, but I am scolding you. Because I am tired. I am bored with my teaching. I am not efficient at my subject. You understand? And that's an escape from my inefficiency by scolding. You understand? My inefficiency, to cover that up, I scold you. How will you prevent my scolding you?
You can't, sir.
Huh?
You can't.
He says you can't. Why?
Because you do not direct his mind.
Huh?
You do not direct his or her mind. You do not direct it.
You are not directed?
You are not direct. You cannot direct the mind of another person.
You can't.
So he can tell anything to you even then, even though you're not in the cause, you're not the cause of the scolding.
Yeah.
You're not the cause of his anger.
So you may not be the cause, but you might also be the cause.
Yes, you could be the cause.
It could be one or the other, right? How will you prevent the teacher from scolding?
Which instance?
Huh?
Which instance?
Yes.
So you mustn't react.
Huh?
You mustn't react.
So
what the teacher
how
says.
will you prevent from reacting?
Ignore the person.
Ignore the teacher. The more you ignore him, the more he gets annoyed.
But so you can't keep scolding you for long. It'll stop sometime.
So, but it is, as we talked about the other day, you should, no teacher, no educator must scold a student. Absolutely, that's terrible. Now, how will you deal with the matter?
Sir, when you see that the teacher is irritated, and you see, and he's because he's irritated, he's taking out, his anger on you. Then you feel that what he's doing is, very petty, because he's taking it out on you, which is probably his own.
He's taking it out of you.
Then you don't react because.
It sounds very nice. It sounds very nice sitting here. But in the classroom, and the teacher is the boss, and he scolds you, what will you do?
Nothing to do, sir.
So, as you have nothing to do, let him scold, but don't be frightened.
Yes, sir. If you find,
You understand?
if the reason he is doing it for is wrong,
Or rightly.
but if you have done something wrong,
If you have done something wrong, ask him to explain to you several times. Right? And if you keep on doing something wrong all the time, he says, for God's sake, don't do that. And you get frightened. You follow? You have been the cause. But suppose he is the cause. Do you understand?
yes,
Then you listen to him and don't get frightened. That's the main thing.
Sir,
Right?
how can you be the cause when you think that what you're doing is right, sir?
That's a different matter. That's quite a different matter. If what you think is right, and you have to show to the educator, the teacher, that what you think is right. Show it to him. Discuss with him. Go into it. Find out. Right. Now, as we were saying, and we were asking, are you frightened by your teachers?
Few, sir.
Huh?
Few.
What do you mean, few teachers frighten you?
I'm scared of you, sir.
Me?
Me, sir. I'm scared of you.
You are scared of yourself?
No, sir. I'm scared of few teachers.
You are scared of few teachers. And what will you do with those few teachers who frighten you?
keep aloof.
Huh?
Keep aloof. Keep away from them.
Keep aloof. Keep aloof from them. How can you when they are teaching you in the class?
In the class, you just be a normal person. But outside, try to avoid them as far as possible.
Outside the class, you disregard him.
Not disregard him. If he's just a hello, hello.
Huh?
Just a hello. If he tells you hello, you tell him back hello. or something.
If he says hello, you say hello back to him. All right. But in the class, he frightens you, he scolds you. What will you say? Sorry, sir, it's all right, it's cold, but I'm not frightened.
But you may be frightened.
Huh?
You may be frightened.
But I'm saying don't be frightened.
You could be.
You could be. Many people are. But will you stop being frightened?
I can.
You can, can't you? So do it. Will you? Huh? Will you do it?
Yes.
If you say something you will do, that's a promise, right? You can't break a promise, right? To anybody. If you give a promise to X, Y, Z, you must keep that promise. So will you, when the teacher scolds you, not be frightened?
Try my best.
And don't do your best. That's the worst thing.
No, try.
Huh?
Try.
Don't try. Don't do it. Trying doesn't stop fear. If you say, I won't be frightened, that's... Right?
Yes.
Will you do it?
Yes.
That's a promise.
Right.
You will keep it.
Yes.
Right. Phew. And then the question there is pressure. Right?
Yes.
You know what pressure is?
Force.
Force. Go on. Tell me something more about it. Think it out. Think it out carefully. I'm your father and I force you. That's one kind of pressure, right? I'm your mother and say, darling, do this. That's a pressure, right? Right? The teacher says, I'll give you 2 more marks if you do that. That's a pressure, right? Yes, you are being forced through false affection, right? Through reward, right? Or through punishment. You understand? You are being under pressure, compulsion, either through reward or punishment, right? Now, can you not submit to pressure?
Pressure is caused by acting the way people want you to act instead of the way you feel you
What's that?
Pressure is caused by forcing yourself the way others want you to act.
That's another form of pressure. That is, people are following a certain tradition, like puja or a ritual, and if you don't do that, and if you think that's silly, the other person puts pressure on you, which is punishment or reward. He says, if you do puja, I'll give you 10 rupees. If you don't do it, I'll punish you. So it is, pressure exists in different forms, but most of them contain this principle of pleasure, of reward and punishment. Right? Is that clear? So will you not be under pressure by society, by your friends, by your father, by your mother, and so on? If you are not there under their pressure, you become very lonely, don't you? Huh?
Yes. You're,
Right?
you're the only person out.
Yeah. So, will you be frightened?
I won't leave them.
Huh?
I won't leave them. Means I go with them.
So, that you are then under their pressure.
Yes.
So you live under pressure, and what does that pressure do to you?
Make you do things which you don't want.
Huh?
Make
So
you do things.
you're always in conflict, aren't you? I want you to do something because I'm bigger, I'm money, I'm your parent, or I'm your teacher, or I represent the government. And so, when you are under pressure, you get frightened if you don't do what the other people demand, right?
Sir,
That's another form of fear, you understand?
sir, if I feel I should not do this, I will not do it. If I feel I should not do this, it's very wrong, then I will not do it.
Of course.
Then
But
just,
will you do that when there's pressure, money, job, your parents, your society, and so on? Say, this is wrong, I won't do it.
no,
Huh? Yes.
So but sometimes when they say, if you do something, I'll give you 10 rupees. Just for the sake of 10 rupees, you do that.
That's right.
You can call it greediness.
No. Yes, that's part of greediness. All right. Is this more or less talked? Clear? If it is clear, don't do anything that's not clear to you.
Sir, but do you think it's better to be left out?
Why not? If you want to live without any kind of pressure, you won't submit to any pressure, including mine. Right?
For example, some people don't like eating bubble gums, but others eat bubble gums, and so they also chew bubble gums. Why is it so?
Excuse me?
It's a question of eating bubble gum.
Oh, that horrible thing.
now you stop eating, sir.
Huh?
He sure to stop eating.
Huh?
He sure to stop eating.
What else would you like to talk about?
Sir, because that person feels that a certain thing is right, he can't force the others to do it, sir.
No,
He cannot, but he is.
he will, because that's human nature. I think this is right, I want you to do what I think, which is wrong.
Which may be wrong.
I beg your pardon, it may be wrong. Any more questions?
Excuse me, sir.
What's that?
Competition.
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 Competition, right. Why do you compete? Why does any group of people compete?
They compare each other, sir.
Huh?
They compare each other.
That's right. We talked about this the other day, didn't we?
Yes, sir.
Not to compare.
Sir, that question which I asked you before, sir, about if there's a person, is it true he is not good at English?
Huh?
He's not good at English.
He's not good at
Good
English.
Good at?
English.
He's not good at English.
Another is good at English.
Yeah?
So a teacher says you are good at English, he is bad at English.
Yeah.
Then is that comparison or is this also comparison?
No.
Saying you're a good man, you're a bad man. Which is comparison?
No. But if you are the bad man and says you must be as good as the good man, that's comparison. Look, I say to you, your eyesight is not good. Hmm? But that fellow has good sight. That's not comparison, is it?
That's what I mean.
No?
Yes.
It's not comparison.
So if you say he's good at English, he's bad at English,
Yes,
it's not comparison.
That's not comparison. But if the teacher says you are bad at English, but you must be as good as the other chap who is very good at English, then that's comparison. Right? Clear?
Sir, through comparing like this, maybe that fellow can catch up with this person, sir.
So that means what?
It's
was
not
asked.
good to him.
That is competition. That's what he was asking.
Fear, sir.
Huh?
Causes fear also.
It causes fear.
It causes fear. When there is competition, there is jealousy, there is anger, there is a sense of annoyance, fear, isn't there?
Yes.
So, can you stop competing?
So then how do you encourage a person to say,
Huh?
How do you encourage a person?
How do you?
Encourage a person.
How do you encourage a person to study?
For anything, sir.
Huh?
For anything.
All right. How do you encourage a person?
By comparing.
No.
Of course.
We said comparison brings fear.
It does, but that's how it is done.
I know that's usually people do that. But you then live in constant fear. So, not to have fear, can you stop comparing?
You can.
Now, I want to encourage you in English. How should I do it?
To study hard.
No, but tell me how am I to encourage you so that you study English without fear, listen carefully, without fear, without pressure, without reward and punishment.
Sir, you should teach the child to love the subject.
How,
And then-
I don't like mathematics. How am I to love the subject?
So you could teach someone to like it by showing him a different aspect of mathematics.
Yes, all right, that's a rather complex subject. Because if you are interested in gardening, you need to measure, don't you? The right length, the depth of the hole in which you're going to plant. That's part of mathematics.
Sir, but that's very elementary.
That's very elementary. But if you are interested in the whole process of mathematics, which is sequence, order, as Narayan explained the other day, pattern, and the carrying out of the pattern, which is, as he pointed out, a dead end, it doesn't lead you any further. But mathematics isn't just that. Right? If you are interested in order, you follow? It's part of your life. Whether you can live a tremendously orderly life. Not follow a pattern. Not say orderly life is what the totalitarian states say, or what the priests say, or what somebody else say. Order means you have to find out, it's a very complex process, you have to find out why you live in disorder.
What is a totalitarian?
Huh?
You said something. Total.
Totalitarian state.
Totalitarian states. That is, you know what dictatorship is?
Yes. Yes.
How do you know it?
Because I've read books.
Huh?
I've read books.
You have read books. Have you had dictatorship in India?
Yes.
Yes?
Sort of.
Sort of. Right. Now, when there is a dictator, and he's supreme authority, he collects a few people around him because they all believe in the same thing, and they say, the whole of this country shall be ruled by us, according to our ideas, according to our beliefs, according to what we think. Right? They control your thinking, they control your work. You can't go from Madanpalli to Madras or somewhere else without their permission. right? You can't write books without their permission, which might be against them, and so on. They control all your life, which is called totalitarianism, which is part of Russia is doing it, Poland is trying to do it, Czechoslovakia, all these countries. They're all trying to bring about a totalitarian state.
But that does not please the people.
But they shoot them. They put them in prison. They send them to mental hospitals.
So that's pressure, sir.
Huh?
That's pressure.
That's
That,
pressure.
of course, that's pressure. They exercise pressure. They think that's right.
Sir, but to control such a big place, sir, with so many people living in it, is the only way out.
Oh, that's the only way to bring about order.
Yes, sir.
Huh? Do you like that?
No, sir.
And if you don't like it, why do you have one of the others? Right? Is that clear? Right. I like to talk about behavior. Now,
Yes, sir.
yes, I know. Do you like to listen? Do you like to hear about behavior?
Yes, sir.
Does it interest you? Huh?
Yes.
What is behavior? What is courtesy? What is politeness? What is consideration? What is to yield happily to some other's wishes without being compelled? You follow? All that's implied in behavior. Say, for instance, if I come to a meeting 10 minutes late and keep you all waiting, that's incorrect behavior, right? Because I'm being impolite to you. I'm not considering what keep you waiting, right? So, lack of consideration for another is not proper behavior. I am talking, and you go on talking at the same time. You neither listen to me, I neither listen to you, right? So, consideration is to listen to what you have to say.
Yes.
Consideration is to appear at meals at the exact time because you are concerned about the cook, the people, right? Right? So, behavior implies you are concerned about the other person. Right? Now, if the other person is the what? Governor or prime minister or an important person, all of you are very considerate. Right?
You got something to gain.
That's right. You've got something to gain. And would you call that behavior proper behavior?
Yes.
No, sir.
If you're in time for other meetings also.
What?
If you're in time for other meetings.
If you are what?
In time
Ah,
for other meetings. And you're also in time for these meetings, that is good behavior.
that's right. So, we generally respect people who have power, who have position, from whom you can gain something. But we don't respect people who are the gardener, the cook, the servant, all right? Right? So, what is important in behavior is consideration
For all.
and respect.
For all.
No, not for all. If you have that consideration for another, respect for other, you will naturally behave properly to the poor man, to the rich man, to the man in power. You have respect. You understand? Now, have you got such respect?
Me, sir?
Yes, you, of course.
No, sir.
Huh? No? Why? You haven't thought about it, right? Now let's think about it.
So why should we have that respect?
Why should you have respect?
Good behavior.
Huh?
Good behavior.
Why do you have respect? Why do you want to behave properly, right? Why? Why do you think? Why do you think you should respect another? Huh? What's that?
That person feels wanted.
That person feels wanted. Well, this is rather complex, isn't it? Now just listen. I'm asking him, we explain very carefully what is behavior, right behavior. That is to have respect and consideration for another. Right? Whether he is a general, a big politician, or a big businessman with plenty of money, position, status, and the cook, the servant, you don't respect at all. Right? So, right? You have understood this? Correct behavior implies that you have respect and consideration. Right? Now, will you have respect for your servant, for your teacher, for your teacher, for your mother, for your father, for respect?
So I don't respect my servant as much as I do for my parents.
Huh?
We don't respect our servants as much as we do for our parents.
Why?
Because we feel our parents are more important.
That means what?
We
They
take
give
them-
you money, shelter, huh?
We take them in a higher level.
Yeah, you put them at a higher pedestal and the servant down there. Now, you misbehave to the servant and you kind of tremendously respect your parents, which means what? You are frightened. If you have no fear, you respect him as well as the man on a pedestal. Have you ever watched a big politician, how he comes into a house, how he is treated when he's in an airport, a railway station, or any other place? Have you watched it?
No, sir.
Huh? Everybody grovels. You follow? And a servant comes along, you say, kick him. I was a guest once, in a house, and we were sitting down, and a servant comes in. I get up, out of polite. And my host says, oh, don't get up, he's merely a servant. You understand? Now, will you have this respect and consideration in yourself so that you treat everybody with respect?
Sir, but if a man is very rude, why should we have respect for him, sir?
If a man is very rude to you, why should you have respect for him? Huh? He might be rude because he doesn't know how to behave properly. Right? He has no respect for you, but he has tremendous respect for a man in a big position. Right?
Sir?
So he has no respect. But you have respect. So, you understand? As long as you have consideration and respect for another, it doesn't matter what other people behave. Right? Now, you have listened to that, haven't you? Now, will you have respect and consideration for every human being? Doesn't matter whether he's the Prime Minister, the General, a King, or a cook, or a servant, or anybody.
I know, sir.
Huh?
I know.
You will?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I never given a thought to it.
Now give thought to it. I'm giving thought to it. Hey, where are you? Are you asleep? We are giving thought to it. We are discussing.
Yes, sir, but I never experienced it.
Huh?
I never had a chance to think about it when I'm experiencing it.
Now, think about it now and look at it carefully, understand it, and say that's right behavior, and I'm going to behave rightly.
So, but the behavior which you think is right might
No,
be wrong.
no, respect, we both said, is good. It is, behavior implies, right behavior implies courtesy, politeness, consideration, respect for another. That means consideration for another and respect for another. If you have that in you, you behave correctly, whether he is a Prime Minister or a servant. You've heard this, haven't you? You see the reason of it, right? Will you do it? Again, I said, if you say, I will do it, it's a promise. And you cannot break a promise.
We'll have to try it, sir.
Therefore, you not try it, see the reason, see why you should be that way, why it is necessary to have great consideration for others, respect for others, not for the top dog, not the man who shouts most, but perhaps the man who doesn't say a thing to you, that person that goes by, the villager.
So then the other person may feel wanted.
What?
The other person may feel wanted to you.
Wanted by you. All right.
If you respect him, sir, then he may feel wanted towards you.
He says if you respect him, he may also feel wanted.
What does it mean?
I don't know what he means. Probably he means he will also respect you. Do you mean that?
So he'll feel that he is also important, as important as you in that situation.
Yes, quite. Will you do it? Will you have this respect and consideration for others?
So we have to try it out.
Huh?
He says we'll have to try it out.
No, don't try it out, do it. This is another escape. You follow?
So
Come on,
doing
boy.
it as
You haven't
trying,
answered me. I'm going to push you. I'm pressurizing you. I'm asking. You have listened carefully what it means to behave, which means consideration for another, respect for another. When you respect people, you are polite to them. You are considerate to them. You help them. You are kind to them. Right? Whether he's a big man or a little man. Right?
Sir,
It means that's right behavior.
Yes.
That's one must behave rightly in life. Right? Now, you have listened to it carefully. Will you do it?
I feel I can't promise you.
You can't promise me.
Yes.
Why?
Because I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I have no idea of what you're supposed to do. What am I supposed to
I'm
do?
not supposed to do, you're not supposed to do anything. To have you have respect for me, haven't you?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Yes.
And you don't have respect to that villager going by, do you? No,
Not as much.
no. Be simple, be honest.
Not as much.
No respect.
Not as much. They may be, but it is in a different light.
Don't play tricks.
No, I mean,
Don't, I know. Don't play tricks. You see, you have never thought about this, right? You have never said, look, let me find out what it means to behave, what it means to behave rightly. To behave rightly is to have consideration and respect at all times, right? Agree?
yes.
Now, you see the reason of it, right?
Yes.
Now, what if you see something to be true? Why don't you do it?
Sir, by respecting one person, sir, by respecting not in the right way he should be respected, then you might be ruining him. He might think, anyway I'm being respected, why should I carry on with my job? He neglects his job, sir.
Leave your job then.
And how does he leave?
No,
lead
you
his life?
haven't understood first the principle, right? The principle, the truth of the matter, which is, if I come late to a meeting, it is disrespect for the audience, right? When a singer who is singing on the platform and I talk to you while he's singing, that's rude to the person. And when you are talking and I'm also talking, that's rude. So, consideration for you means I listen to you. I want to find out what you think. And you have consideration for me, therefore you also listen, you also respect. You follow? That's a have that the feeling of it, you understand the principle, that you must have respect, consideration for other human beings. If you have, you will never treat, that village will be totally different. You understand? You will have them, you will create something new. But we are so indifferent to others, right? We are only concerned with ourselves, our ideas, our capacity, all the rest of it. Whereas if you are considerate, respectful, the other people matter also. You understand? Right, sir? Where are you now?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
You are here. Of course you are here, old boy. I know you're very But I'm asking you, you have thought about this, haven't you?
No.
Now, if you have thought about it, if you have listened to it, has that taken root in you?
I feel it's necessary.
Huh?
I feel it's necessary.
You feel it is necessary. But I'm asking you, has it taken root in you? Like you put in a seed in the earth, you water it, you look after it, it takes it puts out its root, right? And then grows. Now, has this feeling of respect and consideration for people, has that taken root in you?
Not yet, sir.
No, don't say not yet. That means you are not listening.
No, sir.
Huh?
No, sir.
It has not taken root. Why?
Because I've not thought anything deeply about it.
That's right. You have not thought deeply about anything. Right? Now, think deeply about respect, about consideration, which means affection, which means kindness, which means generosity. You understand? Now, think about it and let it take root in you so that it flowers. because this is very important. Most people are very rude, inconsiderate. They are so concerned with themselves, right? Right? With their position, with their problems, with their ambitions and so on. So they disregard everybody. So when they are in that state, they don't know what behavior is.
So, now, if there's a person going out, now you're talking here. All your talks are being recorded.
Yes.
But if there's a peasant who's talking, his talking not being recorded. Nothing is happening to his talks. It may be listened to, it may not be listened to, it's forgotten.
Yes.
But the talks given by some others, a higher person, say a politician, that one's recorded. It's never later against played by and by.
No.
So it's always thought about it.
Yeah, because the politician is generally without respect. It's generally hot air. You know what hot air?
Yes. Balloon.
Oh my Lord. You know, I was walking once with a friend of mine in Madras, and there was a big open space, and there were lots of people. Lots of people. Village, all kinds of people. And the man was standing on a platform and promising them, my friend translated in what he said in Tamil, promising them a cottage, a cow, a land, everything they wanted. Right?
Yes.
Of course, he could never fulfill that, could he? Right?
Yes.
So nobody wants to listen to second time because he was not going to do it. Now I'm asking you, has this taken root in you?
Yes.
No? Find out why.
It's true, sir.
Now, when you learn English or mathematics, it takes root in you, doesn't it? Why doesn't this take root in you? This is as important, perhaps more important than mathematics.
Sir, because we haven't gone deep into it, sir.
So go into it very deeply. Talk to your teacher and say, look, sir, let's go deeply into this question, because that's most important. How to behave, right?
So do you mean you pay respect to somebody who doesn't pay respect to
10:30, sir.
What?
10:30.
Huh?
You want to know the time?
What did you say?
you mean that you should pay respect to somebody who doesn't pay respect?
She says, should you pay respect to somebody who does not pay respect to you? Say he says he does not have any consideration for you. Any consideration at all.
At all.
And should you have any consideration for him at all?
I said to you, if the root has taken place in you, that is, the root of respect, consideration, affection, then whether he is rude to you or not rude to you you're totally indifferent, because you are concerned with consideration. You understand?
Sir, by respecting him, he might respect you.
That's a reward and punishment. I respect him because then he'll respect me, which means what? I'm
You
going to
respect-
get something out of it.
So, some people respect someone else because he's given some food or something. If you're not given, you would have not respected him.
That's right. As long as you get something from somebody, people respect. But since you don't get anything out of that villager, you follow? Right? So, have you got this thing rooted in you? You understand? You haven't got it rooted in you. Huh? Why? You know, if the soil isn't right, any amount of putting your seed in it, nothing will happen. So, the soil is your hearing. Paying attention to what is being said. That's the soil. When you listen with attention, in that soil, the seed can take root and flower. Right? Now, when I say to you as a friend, I say to you, look, unless you behave properly, life becomes chaotic, right? A mess, a confusion. So if each human being behaved rightly, they will begin to have order, right? So I say, have respect and consideration in you. That is the seed in you. Which means that seed can only take root when you listen very carefully, when you attend what is being said. Then it naturally takes place. You understand?
Sir, you said if each human being lives in the way he wants, sir, means what he feels is right.
No, I didn't say what he feels right. I said if each human being has consideration for another, respect for another, generosity, kindliness, saying, I'm not as, not being so terribly selfish, then we will bring order in the world. Right? Right? Yes. Right. Do you want to sit quietly? I'm not asking you to sit quietly. Do you want to?
So how do you think we can keep our mind quiet, sir?
How do you keep your minds quiet? That's one of the most difficult things to do. It requires going into it very, 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 very deeply. You understand?
So then,
First,
then what's the use of telling us to keep quiet now?
Now?
Yes.
Now?
Yeah.
Do you remember what that girl said? Little
Yes,
girl
sir.
over there? She said, when you keep quiet, you gather energy. Right?
But you won't be keeping quiet.
Huh?
Because you say it's the most difficult thing. And I have not been able, I can't keep my mind quiet.
Quite right. You can't keep your mind quiet. Because the mind is chattering, right? How will you find out to have the mind very, very quiet? How will you find out? No, don't say you don't know. Let's find out. You follow? Right? We have to stop now, but let's find out how to have a very quiet, delicate, sensitive mind. Right? Let's find out. We'll discuss it next time. Right? Right. Is that enough? Or do you want to discuss how to have a quiet mind now?
I don't mind finding out.
What?
I don't mind finding out.
Do you want to find out now, or do you want to postpone it till next time?
Next time.
Next time.